We're ready. We're waiting for a little bit of, it's coming. Hang on. Okay. Here it comes. I think this is going to be the theme song, everybody. So we're doing a little bit of music. It wasn't the preferred music that I had asked for today because we have a theme going on in the back. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. But you are live and welcome to the Come Cook With Me show. I have a special guest. I'm so thrilled to have Christine Coussart. She is the most amazing artist, everything galore. I mean, she's a photographer, she's an artist, she's a chef. She has got it going on. And I'm so pleased that you've joined me on the show today.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting.
It's so exciting. So you're on the Come Cook With Me shows, and we thank you. We come live to you. Usually we come live every Friday at 4:30. But in the essence of all the things that were happening today, we decided that we would come live at 5:30 just to make it a little bit easier. And I know for some of you who are just driving home, it made it a lot easier for you to catch us live broadcast. Thanks for the love. I so love that. And so if you are new and you're just catching the show for the first time, what you want to do in our community of love and supporting one another and just the enjoyment of being together, because this is our year. We're over our first year. This is our year and a half moving forward. Not totally a year and a half yet, but we're getting close. But we just love to say hello, who we are, where we're from. So when you do that, you get a chance to win our spices. And a person on our team, his name is Dan Oliver, he has created these incredible spices, so you'll get a chance to win those. It's just something that we do, a random generator. And if you get pulled out, you win them. I send them to you. I also send a few other special surprises in the little box that you get. So anyway, say hello, who you are, where you're from. It's just a great way for the community to get started. So Christine, why don't you share just a smidgen, since it's the first time we've really had a guest personally here outside of my family. Why don't you just give a little bit of background, because she really does have a fabulous background.
Okay, I'm from New Zealand originally. I was born and raised there, and I live in Florida now, and that's how I met Laura. And we were talking just a moment ago about the America's Shopping Channel. I used to be a host on that until it was bought out by QVC. So I used to do cooking shows on America's Shopping Channel. So this is bringing back some memories.
I bet it is.
Mm-hmm. It really is, yes.
Probably not quite the show that she's used to. She probably had hair, makeup, and she had lighting. We don't have all of that going on, but we're doing pretty good for what we have. Okay, so today what we are making, we're not using the Instapot. So if you follow me and you're always saying, oh, we do the Instapot versus the slow cooker, we're not doing that today. We are going back through all of the videos. So if you've ever missed a show or you wonder what are all the shows that we've done before, all you have to do is go to YouTube, and my YouTube channel is Lifestyle by Laura J. So just hit that little icon that says search, and you hit Lifestyle by Laura J, one word. You'll see all of the shows that we've ever done. So as we're composing and looking back at the shows, we've got some neat projects that are coming up this year. We've decided that we're going to go ahead and document, early on, I never posted the recipe before we actually started the show, which was dumb. I don't know. It was a great, someone suggested, why don't you post the recipe beforehand? So we do. Okay. We do that now. So if you're new, it's up above. It's in the initial post before you see us actually live. So it's actually available. We even have Christine's recipe posted. So she's gonna be doing dessert today. So I'm very excited. So this recipe, just give a little bit of history. We're gonna do 3 ways to make these incredible crab cakes. And let me tell you, this is one of the recipes that has been in my toolkit, if you will, for over 20 years, I think now. I have to think, do the math. Yeah, probably maybe 15, 17 years. Anyway, my girlfriend, who I was in business with, Susan Tall. So Susan, if you're watching, you know this is our recipe, but I've actually tweaked it and added some neat things to it. But this is a recipe that we received from a company that we were doing some consulting work with, and we were doing some process re-engineering, some team building in the kitchen. And so what was really fun about it is that we bartered, and so the chef gave us his secret recipe.
Oh,
well, what was
nice.
funny is the pastry chef, she said, he left something out.
Ooh.
And so, but we got it, it all worked out fine. But over the years, I've actually tweaked it, and now the recipe that you see above is primarily kind of mostly mine now. Although there are cork pieces that are totally his. But we're gonna do a really wonderful version of it because you know me, I'm a health, wellness, lifestyle coach for people. So what we try to do is really, you know, not just have like crazy, how I used to cook all the time, really
butter and all the good stuff, right?
all the things that we used to think
Yeah.
were really good.
Right.
And then we really loved them. In fact, Brad still loves some of them.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. But now I've created some new, I found a few new products, and I am so excited to share them with you because last year when I did this recipe, we actually did a lighter version, but now I've got a super light, dairy-free, vegan, vegetarian, more vegetarian, because we're still using jumbo lump crab meat. So those of you who don't want to use crab meat, you can use something that's like a generic to that, but we are actually using real jumbo crab. So let's go ahead and get started. The recipe is really super simple, super simple. So I'm going to start with the heavier version, so if you and I can switch just a smidgen. So you're going to start off with, it takes a pint of mayonnaise. So if you're going to use the heavy version, the not so light version, you're going to start with a pint of mayonnaise. Now, the second version is going to be the super uber light, the vegetarian style. And I have got to tell you, I found this product at the store, just at the regular grocery store. And I'm going to show it to you. It's Follow Your Heart, soy-free, veganese, better than mayo. So let me get that in the picture for you. This is unfreaking believable. So it's non-GMO also. Take a look. So always looking for products that are non-GMO, so genetically modified food. We don't want that in our body. We want to take those things away. But this, if you like the flavor of mayonnaise, let me tell you, if I were just to sneak this in, 1 cup in the pint and 1 cup, Brad wouldn't know the difference. I'm telling you, this is that good. It's so yummy. So, and it is in the refrigerated section. So if you couldn't find this, I did find another one that was just in the regular aisle. It has a few more preservatives than I care for, but it is soy and canola free. It's cage free, it's sugar free, so I really love it. So this is the Primal Kitchen avocado oil. And it has a remarkable flavor as well, but if you wanted more to stick with a mayonnaise flavor, this is the one that you're gonna wanna use. But you cannot use either. This is what I'm gonna use for this recipe. Now, we also do a lighter version if you wanna keep with a dairy and not such a heavy, like a heavy feeling or a heavy texture, more of a lighter texture. We're gonna use a pint of just milk fat, 0 milk fat yogurt, Greek yogurt. And so I use this one. There's so many great ones out there. This one's non-GMO, right there. You can, and it's organic. So you can choose either one. Now, the one thing I talked about when I did Come Shop With Me, so every Wednesday, so you know what we're actually cooking, I always share with you what's in the shopping cart. So you can actually get all the ingredients before we come live. So I talked about using an almond milk, that's a yogurt, and I always use Kite Hill is one of my favorite. It has the best, it would stand up to everything. The heat, because you're gonna be putting these crab cakes in the broiler, this would take the heat, but so does this. So either one you wanted to use. I am using this for the other recipe. So let's go ahead and get started. So you're gonna wanna have 2 eggs in the heavier version. So I've gone ahead and got 2 organic. I use organic cage-free. It's, you know, the best, you know, and no hormones, no antibiotics. The hens are grazing happy, just happy chickens. So one have happy chickens. So I'll add those 2 in. And then you want a pint, which is 2 cups of mayonnaise. So, and you know me, I'm not a big measurer. I I roughly know this is 30 ounces and a pint is 16 ounces. So I'll be getting it pretty close to accurate. But for those of you who are sticklers on knowing exact measures, no worries. You can measure it all. Okay. All right, so we're gonna stir those together. And you're gonna need only about a pint of this. I didn't take out my scissors, but I'm gonna grab those in just a second. Because in addition to inside of our, we've got it all nice mixed together, we're gonna add our spices just right into the mixture. And the spices are so simple, so easy. All right, so we're gonna use 3 teaspoons, and again, you can use more if you really love Old Bay's. We're gonna use the Old Bay seasoning. So we're gonna use 3 teaspoons. I like to use a little more, so mine are heaping teaspoons. And we're gonna use some Dan-O's, and is about a teaspoon of each. And so these are the spices that the teammate Dan Oliver has created. So he's from Kentucky. They actually say Kentucky proud, love them. This one's a little more savory, and this one is a little bit, just a little more spacier right there. What I love about them is that these are amazing. So they're no GMO, low sodium, there's no sugar, they're gluten-free, and there's no MSG. MSG is one of those things you don't want to be adding. Again, MSG is like a salt, but it's really, really, if you do some Google research on any of this GMO, MSG, if you just Google, you'd be amazed at what you're putting into your body. So we really want to look for spices that don't have them.
So where can those be found?
Oh, great question. Come into the picture.
Where can we find those?
Because you were sitting over, you were in the actual thing. So you can actually order these on Dan's website, and Dan will always post in the comments section today.
So it makes it easy for them.
So you can, but if you live in Kentucky, which many of you do, that follow me, you can find these just at Paul's. He's got them all over the place, but Paul's is where you can definitely find it, but he has them in many places. So Dano, wherever you are, say where you can find them and put your link to your website. Great question.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm doing a little bit of savory, and I'll do a little bit of the spicy one.
I'm curious, I want to smell it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that smells good.
I know.
Wow.
I always say it's too bad we don't have smell-o-vision.
Yes. That makes a big difference.
It does. It does. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so you're going to do, instead of a soy sauce, now we just use a little bit. And again, you judge what you want to do, but I use a liquid amino. And you can use, typically will use the coconut liquid aminos, but I like the Bragg's because it doesn't have I don't want to add a coconut flavor to this particular recipe. So I'm just going to use the Bragg's liquid aminos. And again, these are non-GMO, gluten-free, wonderful. And they're in place of using the soy. And we both know that soy is no bueno. No bueno in the soy. So again, you can use as much as that as you like. I also use a Liam Perrin's Worcestershire.
A little English there.
Yeah, just a smidgen. Honestly, I think if we were in New Zealand, or do you get this in New Zealand?
Oh yes, we get that, but we do not get the crab boil or any of that stuff.
No, so you probably have something similar.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, maybe they export it now.
We'll have to come up with making some spices. Yeah. So then this is a cumin. Again, it's non-GMO, it's organic, and it's just a little bit of cumin. We're going to add a little bit of that in our sauce. And then we're going to do a couple of grinds of salt and a couple of grinds of pepper. Actually, I like a little bit extra pepper. And since this is the one that Brad's going to be eating, he loves the spices. And then we're using some Tabasco. Again, you put it to your taste. That made it super easy on this recipe, so just regular Tabasco.
Can they use a different type of hot sauce that they like?
Yes. I just prefer to, those that I showed you have no MSG.
Oh, Tabasco doesn't.
So I really prefer to have, you know, that. So what you're going to get is this beautiful, rich texture mix. It's called a crab cake mix. So when you see the recipe, don't be confused and say, well, where's the crab cake mix? She didn't show me that. No, this is the crab cake mix that we have just made. So it's wonderful. And you won't use the whole thing in the container, so don't worry about that. And I'll show it to you in just a second here. Yum. Take a look. That's just good. Want to smell it? Doesn't it smell great?
It smells delicious.
Now, when I make this next one, you're going to not be able to tell the difference.
Really?
I'm telling you, you will not. All right, so that's the crab cake mix. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to get some jumbo lump crab. And if you saw me today, I was out at Kyle's. Just love that place.
Oh, I love that
Kyle's
seafood shop.
I love Kyle's and Curry Brothers. I love you too. But Kyle's has the most amazing fish products, and we have some special treats. So we went ahead and got the jumbo lump. So I've already gone ahead and rinsed it. It's beautiful. It's just, when you bite into your crab cake, it's not the thin, where's the crab? You don't have to ask where the crab is. I mean, it's right here.
Have a problem.
Right, you won't have a problem. So we got that already cleaned up. And then let me share with you how I did the breadcrumbs. So for the heavier version, we're going to use a breadcrumb mixture. And I used 2 different bread types in here. And I went ahead and I used my food processor and just made the breadcrumbs from scratch. So I went ahead and did that earlier. But what I also did is I put in some parsley. In the recipe, I put in a little parsley, but I think parsley really adds to this particular recipe. So I have a little bit more in here. When you see it, you'll say mine doesn't match what the recipe called for, and that's because I actually put in a whole bunch. Like I put in an entire bunch of parsley. Fresh parsley. And it has to be fresh.
That makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does make a difference. So the other thing that I have done, so I'll take a look just to show you again. There's the parsley. The other thing I've done, which really makes it just separates any crab cake that you'll ever have in your entire life, and that is taking the rind, because we have to add some lemon juice yet to our crab cake mixture. But you take the lemon rind, so I've already gone ahead and done this, but I take my little zester, and I just zest. I did 3 or 4 lemons here, and it's zested and it's all mixed in. It separates everything. Let me just tell you, it's wonderful. And so, this is what I haven't done, and that is to add some fresh squeezed lemon juice into my crab cake mix. So, I forgot to do that. It was sitting over there and then staring at me. So, the fun part of this now, what I need to do, and I'll show you with one. I won't do it with all of them just because you don't need me to form the recipe patties, but I'll show you with one how to do it. And I'm going to go ahead and take off my bracelet just in case. Okay, and then I will grab an extra bowl. And we'll grab one of these pans. All right, so you're going to start off with adding your crab first. So the recipe called for 2 pints of crab for what we're actually making out of one batch, but I have a lot more in here than that because we're going to do a couple of different varieties. So that's good. And then we're going to go ahead and add in some breadcrumbs, a couple scoops. The fewer amount of, sorry about that, the fewer amount of breadcrumbs, the better. Most people love just to have the sheer flavor of your crab.
But you have to have something to stick it together, right?
Yeah, that's what the crab.
You just have to put a little bit of bread in there.
Just a little bit of bread, yeah. And then we'll just go ahead and mix that all together.
And that lump crab meat stays together so nicely, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah. If you get the other kinds of crab meat, it tends to shred.
It does. or even come shredded, which
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put that in. And just to form them, you just need a spoon. You can use your hands, you know, but you just go ahead and form them like this. Oh, I should have shown you, sorry. That's what it looks like. So easy. All right, so now that you're here and you've said hello, who you are, where you are from, what I would love for you to do is hit that magical share button, because what happens is we always do these wonderful giveaways. And today we are going to be doing a giveaway that we talked about last week. So if you shared last week's show, you were entered to win. And last week's show we said, this was the Spanish rice show, we said that if you had shared it, you're going to win the Instapot over there. So it's in the corner.
Right over here.
Yeah, it's in the corner. So if you had shared last week's show, you get a chance, you will win the Instapot. Now next week, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I know we'll have to do something fun, because a lot of times this recipe or my weekly recipes will get shared on a lot of Instapot or other recipe places, but because we're not doing an Instapot recipe and we're just putting these in the broiler, we won't be able to do that. So we'll see how many shares we get and how far along this goes in the internet, and we'll come up with a really great surprise next week.
I have to just hold this Instapot up because it's really nice.
It is so nice.
Someone's going to get this. This is a big box.
It is.
This is awesome.
It's one of the best Instapots out there.
Yeah.
I just love it. Okay, so I'm so close to doing these last one. I'll just put this as the last one.
You don't need to spray anything on the pan?
No, because the actual the only one that you might have to, but I didn't have to, would be this one, because you get a little oil that's from the and I try not to spray anything ever.
Okay.
But the spray that I found that you're going to use today is actually a really good spray for your pet. But nope, you're just going to put the oven, you're going to set your oven on broil.
Look at how pretty those are.
And here's what they look like.
They are really nice size too.
I know, it's going to be yummy.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great dinner tonight. So I'm just going to rinse my hands off and show you the lighter version, the super light version, because we're not using these breadcrumbs. We're using something different. So I'm very excited. Yeah, we can go ahead and put that one away. And I think what I'm going to do is just grab one more of those bowls. I'll just use this one because it'll work out fine. Okay, so in order to get this one started, I'm going to do the crab mix just like we did before, just to show you. And this is just, instead of a full egg, we just are using 5 egg whites. Okay, so 5 egg whites. And then we're going to use the one that tastes just like mayonnaise. Just smell it.
It smells like mayonnaise.
It's amazing, and it's pea. It's a vegetarian. It's made out of pea. I mean, you can look at all the ingredients, but I mean, it's just crazy. The smell and the texture. This is my new favorite product, I swear. So yum.
Is it fattening at all?
Well, you can look at the ingredients. I actually don't have it. I just found it, so I don't have all of it committed in my memory. Yeah. So while I mix, you can tell me what it has.
Okay. Let me get my glasses.
See, I'm not the only one that puts on her glasses.
Oh, I know. And I don't even know what it's called. Here they are. Okay. All right.
Here you go. So it's not messy.
Let's see what we've got here. Saturated fat, 9 grams. A serving. Trans fat, there's none. Total carbs, 0. That's pretty good.
Oh, I know. Yeah. And I think there's no sugars.
I don't see sugar here. There's sodium, 75 milligrams.
Very low. That's very low.
Right, and serving size is 1 tablespoon.
Yeah.
So that's not bad at all.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It smells amazing.
It does.
It just smells amazing.
Yeah, it's got a nice fresh mayonnaise smell.
It does. It's just incredible.
Egg-free, gluten-free.
I really love how we have so many products now to choose from. All right, so I've got the egg whites pretty well mixed in. And what's going to be interesting about this particular one, we're going to set it up using the same spices that we did the other one. So there's not going to be a difference. But the breadcrumbs are so different, so just hang tight. It's a really big surprise. I've been dying since I thought about creating this recipe over again. Sarah said, it's time to make a new one. And I'm like, I've got a great idea. Our company came up with a new product, the Harvest Thins. So that's what we're going to use.
Oh.
Christine's also on my team. Okay, and get some teeping. There we go.
Smells so good.
Mm-hmm. Make that one.
Spice it up.
Spice it up, baby. And we get some cumin. A little bit of salt and pepper. And by the way, I use pink Himalayan salt. I didn't put that out there for everyone, but we use a pink Himalayan salt. Okay, that's a much better, more minerals in it. It's so much better for you. But you'll see, this is going to be a little, it won't be as creamy, like yellow, but it'll be a white cream.
Seems to have the same texture.
It does have the same texture.
Yep.
So let me show it to you. Okay, take a look at that. Isn't that amazing? So awesome. Okay, that is the absolute lightest version. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some of the crab. We won't make as many of these because I didn't grind up as many, but I definitely can't wait to taste this one. This is gonna be probably one that you and I are gonna like love. Okay. So what I did is I took our Harvest Thins. They're like weight thins, but they're vegetarian. What's great about these is that there are 11 grams of protein in them. But they are they have a Thai sweet chili flavor. So they're a little spicy already. So I took 4 bags and I sledgehammered them up, got them all ground up. And I put in some fresh parsley and I also put in the zest of the lemon. And so that's what it looks like. Isn't that outstanding? Hey Sandra, glad to see you.
When you sledgehammered them, did you leave them in the bag?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
You got to put a little air, open
little air pocket.
Air pocket,
so
and then you can.
Okay.
Yeah. And where that air pocket is, one of them, I had too big of an air pocket, so it kind of went everywhere.
Uh-oh.
Don't do what I did. So, yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and pour those in. I forgot to add the lemon juice, so I put that over there just so I can add lemon juice. Just put in the crumbs. I can't wait to see how this one's gonna taste.
Is this the first time you've actually?
It's the first time I put it together. Yeah.
I love this adventurous
spirit. Yeah, it's the first time I made the recipe for this one. But you know, once you have the crab cake mix, you can do it anyway that really suits your lifestyle, which I love. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put that in. Mix that guy up.
So if you do make more mixture, can you freeze this and use it on another day?
Yes.
Oh,
and in fact, what's really great about this is, and so now I see I've got a little bit too much liquid in, so I'm going to add a little bit more crab in. And maybe some more of the crumbs to bind it more, to bind it a little bit more together. You can pre-make these. Get them all, put a little plastic on the bottom of your pan, put them in the freezer, and then once they freeze up, put them in, whatever container you use for your freezer, and you pull them out, put them in the broiler. After they've just slightly gotten a little bit warm.
Okay.
And they're like you made them just fresh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's a good
It's
tip.
a really great recipe for that.
So that's nice if you've got a crowd of people coming and you don't want to be stressed out on the day. You can pre-make them. This is brilliant.
I do that. I do that all of the time. Especially, this is a big holiday, and we did my kids' graduation parties, so we did mini ones.
Yeah.
And so we would do the mini, we'd make them up mini.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. So let me grab one more tray. We'll put these on this particular tray. I'm going to move this guy out of the way. And yes, you can. But because if you're using mayonnaise, I don't like how mayonnaise freezes necessarily. But with this particular product, you know, I think
freeze better.
I think it would.
Yeah.
Because mayonnaise actually has the eggs in it. So, oh my word, these are gonna be so amazing. I honestly cannot wait to see how this turns out. This one. And yes, I won't forget to light it. You were so good. You called me out on Saturday. Where are the pictures, Laura? And I completely forgot. Rio had a bad day on Saturday, and I completely forgot to post it. So I think we'll just make 3 of these guys, because you know we're not sure that everyone who's coming for dinner tonight will love to have these. But you and I definitely want to try them. Okay. Voila.
Voila.
See. There you go. Awesome. Isn't that just amazing? Okay. All right. Now we've got one final one that we're going to just put together, but I don't think I'll form them just for the essence of time. But again, we'll just show you the beautiful way that you can create this. I did 2 egg whites and 1 egg just to make it a little bit lighter. Okay? Not as heavy as using the mayonnaise. And then we are using, you can use an almond milk. I actually use the regular milk fat-free 0%. It'll hold up higher. Just a Greek yogurt. But again, if you want to use the almond yogurt, you can certainly do that. And that's one of the things that I would have done had I not found that mayonnaise that we just used in the other one. Or the vegan-nese. All right, so we'll go ahead and get that stirred up. And we're going to add the same spices, and we're going to use the breadcrumb features. So, I mean, it's really, really that simple. And then, once I get that mixed up, just so you can see what it'll look like, what the sauce will look like, I won't form them. We'll go ahead and get started with the dessert. Just rinse those breadcrumbs. Okay. Add my lemon juice. Okay. Do your Tabasco. I love how the guys are all talking out there.
They're a good old yak out there.
We got our Old Bays, got our cumin, got our Danos, such easy, wonderful, easy recipe, right? Got our Braggs, and then our Worcestershire. And we'll top it off with some pink Himalayan salt and some black pepper. And I was surprised. So last year when we did this recipe and I was showing a lighter version, I had never done the yogurt, and I was so worried whether it would hold up in the oven, and it did great in the broiler, so I'm really excited about it.
I like the idea of yogurt more than mayonnaise, personally, and I'll be curious to try that.
Okay. Well, and it also has the lighter side too, because it's just 1 egg versus 2 eggs, so it's definitely a healthier side All right, so that's what it's gonna look like. Okay, so we again would add the same crab, which I'll go ahead and do that once we get off the air. We'll add the crab and we'll add the breadcrumbs. We'll form them up just like you saw us form up the other ones, and then we'll put them in the broiler. So when you're actually cooking them, depends on how many trays that you have. You're gonna broil. A lot of people like to deep fry, but I say no in the deep fry. No, 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 no. The flavor just gets taken away from them. So you put your broiler on, hit your broiler. If you only have one tray, put it in the medium rack, but rotate your rack midway through, okay? So just rotate it. If you have 3 racks, which we're gonna have, we're just gonna go broil, put them all in, all 3 racks, broil. In between, a third of the way cooked, pull them, reverse, rack, and just stack up. And then do it again to the 3rd time, and then you'll have a full rotation. By the time you do the full rotation, you'll choose your crispiness, and then you'll decide which ones are done, and you can pull them out. And that's the best way to have a whole, when you're cooking for a whole slew of people. So when the guys were here from, you know, Brad's friends from middle school and high school, some of them were grade school friends, when they were all here, we were cooking for masses, so that's kind of how we did it. So when you have a lot of people, holidays, and that's the best way to do it. Hey Deb, good to see you. So that's the crab cake recipe. We're gonna get started cooking.
Okay. Now I've got one question about the broil. Is it a low broil or high broil?
I know my oven just has one option.
Oh, okay. So it's probably just broil.
Just
like
broil.
Full on broil.
Full on broil. So 450 degrees probably and higher. So that's a great question because I don't even think of that. Okay. So remember I said when you say hello and who you are, where you're from, you get to get those spices. And I forgot to tell you who won the spices. So the person who actually won the spices was Mike Brown. Okay. Congratulations, Mike. We've been talking back and forth, so if you're watching today, I think you're just going to be excited because you're going to love these spices. But being from Kentucky, or I think Kentucky or Indiana. Anyway, you're local, so you probably get them all the time, but it doesn't matter. You still want them. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the New Zealand dessert.
Okay.
And when we're done with the New Zealand dessert, we're going to find out who won that Instant Pot baby. And there was a song that we were looking for, and I'll tell you about that song, but we have a special giveaway that's just because it all just came in today. So I'll talk about that at the end of the show. So I'm going to get this stuff cleared away so Christine has room to work.
Okay. So we're going to make New Zealand pavlova, and I say New Zealand pavlova, they have it in Australia too, and both countries argue about who originated it, but my story that I heard when I was growing up in New Zealand was that the Russian ballerina Pavlova came to New Zealand and they named the national dessert after her. So that is the story.
I was wondering how the story of that was created.
So that is the story. So this is the easiest recipe in the world. If you go somewhere and have to bring dessert, it's sinfully easy and it looks very complicated. So when people are eating it, they're like, wow, what did you do? Really what you have to know with doing this is your oven, and you have to test it a few times because all ovens are different. And so all pavlovas get cooked differently.
Oh, wow. That's curious.
Okay, so we want to have the egg whites, these are the 5 egg whites, and we want to have those at room temperature. If you get them out of the fridge, you can actually put them in a bowl of warm water, and that will actually heat up the eggs and get rid of the cold.
That's a great tip.
We need our little beater.
Oh,
we call these, this is a beater of the New Zealand. You call it a mixer here.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so do I need to do this in the sink, or am I okay to do it
you'll
up
be
there?
okay. We're just going to give a sound alert for everyone.
I know,
if you're listening to us, it's going to be a little loud. It'll be a little loud.
Yeah.
So just plug your ears for a little.
Yeah. How high does that go? Let's see that. Right there. Get creative. Yeah. Give it a mixer. about right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so these are nice organic eggs, so they are behaving a lot nicer than a regular supermarket egg, so that's about what it looks like there. You can see the soft peaks. Okay,
Here,
so...
let me show this too. See the soft peaks right there?
Ah, yes.
So perfect.
Yes.
That was quick. I thought you were going to be doing that a lot longer.
Yeah, now the whipping cream might be when we get to that part, but... okay, so we're going to do a cup of sugar. Now, Laura, she tried to give me the nice palm sugar, which you might be able to use, but it's a bit, the granules are really thick, and this is, I haven't done it with big granules, and you want to try and keep this nice and white because it just looks prettier.
Right,
so
the brown shoots brown with the...
Yeah, it ends up looking different, so... you just gradually, you go back to the mixer and then gradually add the sugar. Just a little bit at a time. If you get in too much of a hurry, it won't work. And this will change the texture of the egg white. On to 400, so we can put the oven on 400, and I'll talk about that in a minute. We're just about done here. I always put the sugar in too fast. Just do a little bit, and I always go too fast.
I do like that too.
Yeah.
I would be.
Alright, so now it's really making a nice, like it's really forms a nice peak there. So
oh, wow.
You can see that
that's
on
really
the,
cool.
Yeah, that's about
awesome.
the texture you want. Okay, now this is just so easy because we're just about ready to put this in the oven. This is it, okay? Wow. So you're going to use half a teaspoon of cider vinegar, apple cider vinegar. This is the this is organic, of course. That looks quite nice. Everything always tastes better when you use organic. So you do half a teaspoon, and I'm like Laura. I've been doing this so long. I just put it in there.
That's what we do.
Yeah. And then where's that cornstarch? Oh,
I had it out.
Oh, here it is. Okay. And then this one I will use a teaspoon because
too much.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to.
We do know that we have to use some.
Oh, we don't want to put my hands in there. So we'll just pour. Yeah, about a teaspoon. I think this is a half teaspoon. And that helps hold it together. And then all we do, this is a nice rubber spatula. And you fold this in. Okay, so what you're going to do is you fold it and you bring this over like that, and that keeps the air in there. Sometimes if you find vanilla, you can pop a little bit of vanilla in there. And that gives it a nice flavor. Some people do that. So there it is, right there. That's your mixture. So what we're going to do next is...
That looks wonderful.
Well, I've got this is my, just an oven tray, and you can put foil on it so it won't stick. And then you just spray it with the spray. And this is a nice, really nice...
Yeah,
organic spray.
Yeah, it's organic. Yeah. I love this one because it has, it's just healthier. It has non-GMO. It doesn't have an aerosol. So it's organic, high safflower oil, avocado, and coconut oil. So wonderful. Chosen Foods.
I don't even know that I realized they did organic sprays. So
yes.
That's great information to have.
And a high heat point of 490 degrees. So you wanted to go to 400?
Yeah.
You can go 400.
Do you want to hold this up a little bit so they can see
to.
how this looks? Okay, so we just pour this in a round shape on this bit of foil here. And this is actually a small one. Usually they come out a little bit bigger. Okay.
That looks perfect.
Yeah.
And that's it?
That's it. So we'll put this in the oven. Now, the way I do it that differs from the recipe You've got my mum's recipe, but we always like do things a little different when our mum tells us to do something, right? I do. Mum, are you there? She's meant to be watching.
we do it out of love, Mom.
So I put it at 450 for about 20 minutes, and that gives it a nice crispy crust. And then I turn it down to 250 and leave it in for about the hour.
Okay. So 450 for 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
And then you can leave it in there for an hour. Everyone, if you go looking for this recipe online, you'll find different versions of it. Some people leave it overnight. Some people, you know, it's like womanhood. How your pavlova turns out. You know, you're like really famous or something if you make a good pavlova. One of my aunts makes this great pavlova, and it's really tall. I don't know how she does it. She's got a secret, but you know, everyone does it differently.
So anybody who makes this, let's show pictures of your pavlova.
So
pavlova.
Yep, pavlova.
Make your picture on this so we can all see who's turned out.
So we'll put this in the oven, but I've already cooked one.
Okay,
and
let's see what it looks like.
This afternoon, and then we need another bowl probably for whipping cream.
Okay.
So let me get the other dish.
It's heavy.
Yes, that's heavy. I'm doing my workout today. Okay.
I should have looked at that for you.
This is what it looks like when it is cooked. Okay. And
isn't that beautiful?
If I bring it up to you and tap it, you can hear it. It's hard on the outside, and it's soft on the inside. And sometimes, like I love them. Sometimes you'll make them and they get a little chewy. I love them, but I haven't perfected. I don't know how you make that happen. It just fluke. It's
so
a fluke sometimes.
So I'm going to put this in the oven at 450.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to rinse off these beaters. We're going to whip the cream up. Now, the recipe says cool it. I never use that. I only like to use the organic whipping cream, and that's just because it's a lot better for you and it doesn't have all those preservatives. So it's easy to find organic whipping cream. When we first came to this country, we couldn't find whipping cream. It wasn't a mainstream American thing. Probably 30 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, we couldn't find it. We'd have to hunt. Now you've got it everywhere. And everyone's using it. And we went right to Los Angeles when we first came here.
So Deanna says she fell in love with Pav when I was in Australia, but I've never been successful at making it. Well, now you're going to be successful at making it.
Yeah, it depends on the oven. So get to know your oven and try a few things and you'll be fine. So, and you know, you say successful. The nice thing about this is it doesn't have to look great. Like you can pull it out of the oven and you think you've got a flop on your hands, and you can put whipped cream on and it will hide all your terrible flaws. Here's the organic whipping cream. Real pretty package. And we'll just, I guess we'll put all of it in there. Now I'm a bit worried about this because sometimes the organic takes a bit longer to beat up. So Laura, I don't know if you've got anything to talk about while I'm doing this.
So yeah, why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead?
Do you want me to go away and do this? Or
why don't we beat that up? We can probably beat it up. Yeah, over in the corner. So while she's beating it up, what we'll talk about is the remaining of... Yeah, something new for this Italian to make. Catherine, you're going to love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and find out the special announcement. You know, I was wondering, Christine, maybe what we could do is show the final version because we haven't got the fruit. What's that? Maybe what we should do is just do that, and then we'll show the picture at the end.
Okay.
Because you're gonna be putting it on top, and we're gonna put fruit on top.
Yeah.
So why don't we just show the picture since we all know that we can do that, and
Okay.
then we'll end the video so that people don't have to watch us do that.
All right. Yes, that's a great
And then
idea.
you can pick out who the winner is of the Instapot from last week's show.
Sounds good.
So we'll go ahead and we'll be able to end. So if you have questions, what we'll do is we'll answer them after the show is over. And Christine will finish whipping up that whipping cream, and she'll make it beautiful here. And we're going to add some beautiful fresh fruit. And so talk about the fruit you decide to put on it.
Well, with it being Memorial Day weekend, I might choose blueberries or raspberries and do a little combination. And I love America, so that would be a great thing to do. On another weekend, if you're doing something on, let's say, St. Patrick's Day, you could go with kiwi fruit, slice them. Summer strawberries. In New Zealand, we do passion fruit on there, and passion fruit, you don't find it over here very much, and if you do, it's $3 each in the store. You know, the wonderful little, have you tried it before?
I haven't.
It's just like my favorite flavor in the world.
Oh,
you've got to find it.
We'll have to find it. I found quite a few fruits, so we'll surprise her which one she chooses to put on. So I gave her a lot of variety. If you were with the Come Shop with me, you saw that. Okay, so special announcement. Our company is genius still again. They came up with a beautiful seasonal shake, and it was the song theme that I want. What's the name of the song? Because I'm not good with names of songs. I'm really terrible. Brad was trying to find it. He's like, I can't get it downloaded, and I can't sing. But if you know you like Pina Colada.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah.
And you get caught up in the rain. So you got the idea, right? We have a seasonal shake, Pina Colada, and my whole shipment came in. So I decided, I didn't talk about it, but I decided to pull a winner, and I actually pulled one. And I know this gal's gonna be so excited. The person who won the Pina Colada shake, which I have back here, is Alida Awi. I think I said it correctly. So this baby is gonna be mailed to you, babe. I'll put your name here on top.
Nice.
And Mike, I've got your spices. So I'll send you a note so you know who won and get your addresses so I can send those to you. But in this hat over here, we actually have the people who shared this, not this video, but last week's video, the Spanish rice video. They shared it on their wall. So they're entered to win the drawing of the Instapot. So drum roll and good luck to whoever it is, because you're the one who's picking this time.
Okay, all right. I better close my eyes.
Good luck.
All right. All right, here we go.
Oh, please, who did you
tell me.
pick? Oh my! Do you want to pick it? It was Christine!
I can pick another one.
No, you won it fair and square. Congratulations!
I promise you I had my eyes closed.
It's so funny when that happens. When Brianna picked it the last time, she's like, Mama Hall, please don't let it be me. And I said, but yes, that's so nice. Thank you so much. Is it hot in here, or is it just because of these ladies? Drew, you're so funny. All right. Well, congratulations, Christine. I'm so excited.
I am too.
Brad said, hey, if Christine wins, you don't have to do the shipping.
I saved money.
But I always do the shipping, and you all know that. So one of the things that I have a surprise for you all. Those of you who have been consistently sharing over the months that we have been doing, I've saved all of the Instapot people. This is all Instapot people who have shared over the months. So I'm adding you all to the hat, right? And I'm going to be saving it for a grand prize. I haven't decided what the grand prize is, but I've been saving everybody's names.
If I know you, it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be
good. So we hope that you have a very, very safe Memorial Weekend. Yes. Let's really put our thoughts and blessings to all the people who have served our country. We are so blessed for our service, people who have served our country.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a safe, with that said, have a safe and a wonderful celebration, Memorial Weekend. Make it a beautiful, like if you're out here, right now it's a beautiful sunny day, but we're anticipating some pretty big storms. Yeah. So if you're caught in the storms, just please be safe.
Get a pina colada.
Yeah, get a pina colada.
Caught in the rain.
Get caught in the rain. Okay, everybody. And love to you all. I'm blessed that you all join us. Thanks so much for joining the show. Have a great, blessed weekend.